This is Luke Spiller from the Struts. When I'm not on stage, I'm checking out Subfacts. Shameless plug there. Shameless, but I don't mind. I hope that you're having an incredible day and this puts a smile on your face. Hopefully see you really soon. All the best. Mwah.
Hello and welcome to Subfacts. I'm your host, Matt, and I'm here with my partner in crime, Mooney. What's up, Mooney?
What's up, dude? How are you, man?
I'm good. You know why I played Luke Spiller this go-round?
Because of Luke Skywalker?
No. Luke Spiller is blowing up this week.
Why?
And I like to think we put him on the map. Like, granted, the Struts have been around for like 10 years now, but still, I like to think that we were giving him the upfront press because this past week, Howard Stern, I guess, noticed Luke Spiller at the Taylor Hawkins tribute and basically gave him some big time shine. And so, you know, Howard has a huge platform, as you know. And when he starts talking about you, that's when you get all kinds of other people listening. Howard actually, even though he's kind of like outdated a lot of times with music, he does bring certain music to people who would have never heard him before.
Right.
So it's kind of a big thing. And then I turn on the radio and I'm listening to the Eddie Trunk show. And guess what? He's interviewing Luke Spiller. Luke Spiller's everywhere.
Dude, he is everywhere. He's blowing up, dude.
And he announced that he's doing a project or working on some projects with Brian May of Queen. And so he may be doing some Queen stuff, which is really cool. But I like to think we were blowing up before everybody else.
I think so too.
We were the trendsetters. So, yeah. So, way to go, Luke Spiller. You can thank us. We'll say you're welcome.
You're welcome, Luke Spiller.
Yes. So, we were the first to bring Luke Spiller on, as far as I know. So, with that being said, we got a busy show. Let's just get to it. What's up, Brian?
Hey,
hello.
What up, Brian?
All right, here's the first warm-up question. It is rank these vegetables in order of best to worst.
They're all awful.
Yeah. You both have to agree on the order.
We both have to agree on the order. I think we all equally agree they all suck.
I like onions. I love onions.
Here's the thing, and how about this? I
hate the others.
I don't like.
Actually, you know what? I like celery.
I don't like any of them. It's what I'll tolerate. Like, I'll tolerate broccoli. I'm okay with broccoli. I'm okay with cauliflower. I'm okay with celery. Spinach and asparagus come from the devil. Like, they're just awful, the worst possible things.
So they're definitely last.
Yeah, they're whatever, 5 and 6.
Okay.
Onions, I don't necessarily hate them, but I don't necessarily like them either.
They're gonna go top 2 because I love them.
Okay, I'll give it. How about let's go? I would argue broccoli or celery and onions 1 and 2.
I would. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with putting celery 1, even though I wouldn't. To soothe you, I will put celery 1.
I can switch out. I'm good.
Onions. Here's the thing. What celery really only goes with chicken wings?
I eat celery every day. I actually really enjoy it. I didn't like it before. Before, it always had to be with something. And recently, in the last 6 months, because of like dietary things, I've just been like eating it straight. And you know how like sometimes they say like you hit a wall or there's runner's high or something, like you get this magical whatever, the world opens up to you. Somehow I hit that with celery to where I actually enjoy the taste of celery on its own.
I mean, but celery, I guess it's in it's in like Ameriqua or whatever, Miracle
Whip or relish. Or
what do you call that when you put it in? It's celery, carrots, and onions, or no? It's one of the. It's I
don't know.
Shoot, it's I forget. It's a thing that goes in a lot of dishes. It's got a name. It's got 3 ingredients. It's like celery, carrots, and onions, I believe.
Succotash?
But it may be.
No, succotash is corn and lima beans.
I'll look it up. Jesus.
I didn't know there was a thing.
Yeah, there is. It's Ameriqua. I always forget the name of it.
No matter what it is, we're not going to eat it. Ever.
No.
We're never going to eat it. So let's bypass it. Don't even look it up. No need. We have a
All
producer
right.
for
Okay.
that.
Celery 1, onion 2, and then the rest.
And then broccoli and cauliflower were one and the same, just different colors.
They're
So
all awful. Asparagus, number 1, is disgusting.
spinach has to be the worst. Of
It
the
is.
bunch.
It's the worst. Not. But wait. But asparagus makes your pee smell like complete vomit.
True, but like spinach is like, oh, it's like, I just imagine it's like if you take like the worst dumpster in the world and you clean all the stuff out, there's that watery residue at the bottom. That's what spinach is to me.
Mirepoix.
Mirepoix. Nope, I'm never gonna eat it.
Yeah, I told you.
Jamiroquai
It's
and
in a lot of
Mirepoix.
soups. I'm surprised you guys don't know this stuff.
I don't eat soups. You know
Celery,
this.
onions, and what do you call
Well,
it? Carrots.
Mirepoix and Jamiroquai, I say no.
Jamiroquai.
Okay. Boom.
All right.
There you go.
This topic sucked.
All right. So
Way to start off the show.
why do people like champagne? It's pretty terrible as far as alcohol goes, right?
I don't drink, folks. I'm going to pass it off to you.
I kind of like champagne. It does. I mean, it's a little sugary at times, and it's got a little bit of a bitter taste. But if you get the right one, champagne is good. You know, put it on some ice, especially if you mix it with orange juice in the morning. Get a mimosa, lovely. It's a great breakfast drink. But no, so I like champagne.
I think people literally
wine.
just like the idea of popping the bottle.
Yeah, it is pretty cool to pop the bottle.
People take so much pleasure out of pot. Like, I don't drink, but like I would like to pop a bottle. And even where you take that like sword and you go,
yep.
Like I want to do that. Like I'd want to do it. I don't want to drink it, but I want.
And here's the thing: it's got a place one night of the year. Almost everybody has at least one sip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, it's
like
some people don't like
fish
it.
water.
I enjoy it.
There you go.
Fish water.
Wow.
All right.
Tell that to Moe.
All right. The last question. How many beers would you need to drink to take each of these NFL QBs home if they were women? So for our viewers at home, we have a picture, a photoshopped picture of about six QBs.
Oh my God. Okay, so these are
Aaron Rodgers.
Way. Where did you find this? This is outstanding.
I'm not gonna lie. Aaron Rodgers would be my number one absolute.
Oh my God! And
go-to.
this is seeing if Derek Carr and Ben Roethlisberger need to go home immediately.
Yeah, they're awful.
They look awful.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger is the worst.
I mean, Tom Brady, really?
Garoppolo and Brady look pretty good.
I'm not gonna lie.
Really
Brady looks like Savannah Guthrie from the Today Show.
Yeah, I mean, I would go. By the way,
Garoppolo's probably number 2 seed in my
number
book.
1. Until you said they had wigs, I was like, oh, actually, some of these aren't bad. So I mean, I may be in the 2 beer.
They're not in wig. That's
zone?
not their. That's in their face mixed with other things, though.
It's mixed.
Yeah, it's not like their real straight up face.
Oh, okay. I mean, based on what I'm seeing, some of these maybe even no beer, like Cousins, Brady, and Garoppolo. I would be like, okay.
No Rodgers. Rodgers is my number 1 seed right there. But
yeah, I mean that. You know why? She looks too hippie.
Oh.
And you know what it looks like? It looks like her room smells like patchouli oil. Oh, and that's the worst. I vomit.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm one with the
patchouli oil. Patchouli oil is pure gag.
You know how like my number 1 seed is girls with emotional issues. Hippies fall right under the number 2
we are
seed.
So different when it comes to women.
I don't believe in their I don't believe in everything else they think about in the world. The hippie. I'm not a free love.
God, we are so different.
I'm not like, hey,
you like hippies, big noses, and women with emotional issues.
Yes,
and I hate all 3.
That
of those.
is my perfect girl in a blender. If you put a girl with emotional issues, hippie lifestyle type of thing. I don't want them dirty though, but like,
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean. I'm good with some patchouli.
Some of these are no beers, but like there's
Garoppolo is probably he's like
for Ben and Derek. There is not enough beers. There's not enough.
Yeah, Ben's the worst. Ben Roethlisberger is the worst. Brady's not so bad. Cousins not like.
Brady looks more up my alley, like thin face, thin lips.
Like Rodgers, Cousins, and Brady and Garoppolo, I wouldn't need a drink at all. If anything, I'd be a little nervous talking to some of them, Roethlisberger and Carr, I agree, probably just need to, they'll be by themselves by the end of the night.
Yeah, they will.
I don't see enough beers.
They're not even lazy Saturdays.
No. Carr maybe. Carr's a lazy Saturday. Roethlisberger's a no chance. There's just no chance.
There you go.
All right.
Oh,
Oh,
hey.
nice.
See, the King
Charles.
he does love
He
some
does.
facts.
I didn't know. I like him. Not
Yes.
surprised.
Well, look how excited he looks towards our show.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And he should be excited because we have one hell of a show tonight.
Yeah, we
folks.
do.
Yeah. So quite a few things happened to me this week. And so
There always is stuff happening to you.
So one of the things, I'm sick of like kids being off of school. Like I realized that our kids get off of school way too much. Like when we were kids,
they get off 9 weeks or something like that.
just in the month of October, the boy is off for 5 days.
That's a third of the month.
5 days he's off. So
No, a quarter of the month.
So
but
of
still.
course I'm like, dude. So this latest one, I'm like, what are you off for today? And he goes, Indigenous Peoples Day. And the funniest thing is, I went to complain. I went to pull Archie Bunker. I went to be like, oh, that's just terrible, blah 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 blah. And what are they going to do? All this stuff. And then I was like, wait a minute, F Columbus. That's my whole argument. And then I said, so then I started going, this is the first change where they're actually right. Like they actually get it right.
Yeah.
And I told him, I'm like, you know what? Way to go, Indigenous People Day. And then I started to rant why I hate Columbus. And he was just
I
like,
don't know why you hate Columbus.
but he was
so
like,
much.
dude, I'm with you. He didn't even know where he was.
Columbus Day was take credit for something. Everyone would have done it.
Yeah, but he
Like you wouldn't have done it? Like what did they call it? Mad Snavely Day.
Don't think I wouldn't have done it. I would have totally done it. But what I'm saying is, not a fan. Columbus basically, I heard a story about him actually. Neil deGrasse Tyson, my boy.
Oh, here we go.
Was telling a story about Columbus where he needed to go back to Spain. This is pretty classic in a weird sort of way. So he's talking to the natives in the island, and he needs to go back to Spain. He doesn't have enough like food and supplies, or it's basically food, to get to Spain and make sure his crew is fully taken care of in the months or whatever that it takes. And so the indigenous people are like, no, we don't have any food. We literally only make enough for our group to survive for the year, and that's it. We don't make any more. So because they're not one with like astronomy and all this kind of stuff, and Columbus is, he knows that like the next week there's some kind of a eclipse is supposed to happen and the moon's going to turn to blood or whatever. And so he pulls this whole move like, hey, I know you only make enough food for yourself, but if you don't give me the food that I need, then my gods are going to trump your gods and your whole moon's going to turn blood red, all this kind of stuff. And when he predicted it, because he just followed science, the natives were like, oh, damn, he knows what he's talking about. So they had to give up their food, which of course they starved just so my man could get back to Spain.
Wow.
Kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
Kind of a jerk.
That's
so, yeah, crazy story, but
that's nuts.
Yeah. So F Columbus.
Who can validate that story though, considering
you can't go against Neil deGrasse Tyson.
You love Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I do. The dude knows everything about everything. Like if he could literally tell me about me, and I'd be like, you're right.
Well, yeah, and no one ever goes, oh, you're full of S, Neil deGrasse.
And maybe you will be the first person. We'll get him on the show. I would love to see a debate between.
I think I don't like him because you like him so much.
Maybe I think you would really like him if you paid attention.
No,
to
because he sounds like he thinks he knows everything about everything. He's not right about everything. Everyone doesn't know everything.
No, I think he stays in his lane. He sticks typically to the cosmos and like astronomy. And
so he's a cosmonaut?
Yeah. Oh. He is like the head muckety muck when it comes to that kind of stuff. Astrophysicist, I guess, but anyway.
Rocket scientist.
Yeah. A good guy to know. I think he'd be a good guy to know. Like I definitely call him.
I'll play trivia with him. That's for sure.
You'd get killed. But anyway.
No, he'd be on my team. He'd be on my trivia.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm saying if you're going against him in Trivial Pursuit, no chance you're getting a chance to play. But anyway, F Columbus. I wanted to bring that up.
I don't know. What
Happy
Columbus-
Indigenous Peoples Day. This is the only thing the schools are doing that I can get behind. Like crisscross applesauce, I'm not a fan. But
crisscross applesauce.
But in all the changes,
what is that, like tying your shoes?
No, you know how when we were kids we used to say sit Indian style.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
Now it's called crisscross applesauce. I get all the little things that they've made, but anyway, I usually rail against those, right? Because that's where I go right into Archie Bunker mode. But this time I'm like, yeah, they're right. Indigenous Peoples Day. Boom.
Wow.
I'm for it. So
so you bitch about your all the days off, but you are okay with this one because of the name of it.
Yes, now I can get behind it.
Awesome.
I'm not behind the fact that like he's off for 3 other days.
What are the
four other days? Oh, one of them is even
teacher work day.
Okay, so they have like teacher work days. There's even like a student rest day for whatever reason, which is dumb.
A student rest day?
Yeah, because their life is so taxing as it is.
We never had a student rest day.
No,
and we never
nothing.
had a teacher work day.
No, we had teacher work day. It was like one day before each grading period. They just have way too
not
much.
in my school. Teacher work day was called
like Saturday,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
No,
they would stay after. They wouldn't leave at like 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers would just stay from like 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock or 5 grading papers.
Yeah, everybody's gone soft.
Oh
okay.
my God.
So then this week or this past weekend, I went to you know me, I'm all about Halloween. I get into Halloween.
You do love Halloween.
I put
more than any friend of mine. Except for the guy who passed.
Oh yeah. I put my Halloween stuff out in September because I'm that excited about Halloween. So I went to Markoff's Haunted Forest this weekend with the boy. And Markoff's Haunted Forest,
I was gone. You always pick the weekend I leave town to go.
Not my problem. Which, by the way, I'll fill you in on this one. So Markoff's Haunted Forest, folks, you guys can look it up on YouTube. It's one of the biggest haunted forests, or one of the best known in the country, which is pretty cool. So they don't skimp out on the dollars, let's just say, to put into their quality production. And so this was the first year I got to bring the boy. And so I showed him some YouTube clips ahead of time, and he was like, "Oh, that's nothing. I'm not going to be afraid. You keep telling me I'm going to be afraid."
All big shot, right?
And yeah, total big shot. So then I stop him.
He's like, "I got this."
I don't want him to see everything. So I'm like, "Okay, you're fine. Then I don't have to worry about you. We'll just all have a good time." And so
big man,
total big shot. Then we start driving there, and this place is in the middle of nowhere, just farm country, and it's windy roads.
And it's dark.
It's dark, windy roads. All we had was a full moon. And I even told him as we're driving, like, if a bloody teenager comes running in the road, I'm not stopping. I'm just getting
going to run it over.
I even made a playlist, a Halloween playlist that played like horror movie clips with music that kind of fits along.
Did you have
with
the Halloween like
Don't think I didn't. I had Tubular Bells from The Exorcist. I had everything. And then I'm setting the tone. I'm setting the mood.
Did you play Werewolves of London with the full moon?
No, I didn't go that far, but I did have Bark at the Moon by Ozzy. Solid. Nice. So we have the full moon. We're literally seeing cornfields, all kinds of stuff. The boy is already starting to get scared.
Nice.
Already, he was like, "Are we gonna have to go into a cornfield?" I'm like, "We may. We don't know where this forest is gonna lead us, and
we could get lost."
Yeah. So we get there. My boy's already scared. You could tell. Then we get in line. We do the thing, and this is the weird thing. We're with a group of people, 5 people. Everybody's afraid to go first. Everybody is like, "I'm not going first. I'm not going first," because they send you in groups.
Why don't you just go first?
I'm like, I always go first. I'm always the first guy because everybody else is afraid to be the first guy. So I go, and I kid you not, as soon as we got there, after the very first jump scare, the boy's freaking out. He's like, "We got to go. We got to end this. Why did you take me here?" And I'm like, "Dude,
you can't turn around now.
You can't turn around.
You're committed."
And he's like, "Well, how much more left?" I'm like, "Dude, we got a good 40 minutes to go here, son. We just embrace it." And so, my man freaked out.
Awesome.
But then my wife is freaking out. Like literally everybody's screaming, and I'm dying laughing.
It's just a scare thing.
But then I get goofed. The boy's like going, "You're getting kind of annoying because you're laughing." And I'm like, because this is funny to me.
Yeah, they
all
are.
of you are screaming like little girls. I think it's funny. And so then we get out of the thing. All I hear is all of them crying, blah, blah, blah. As soon as we get to the exit, big shots. Everybody's a big shot.
Oh,
It wasn't that scary.
really?
Like, it was, it was just
You
all
were
these
pooping your
jump
pants
scares.
and yelling like a little girl. You mean wasn't that
I
scary?
have to go first every step of the way, and all this kind of stuff. Like I'm saying, tears were flowing.
Backseat
on
drivers all of a sudden
different
like,
people.
oh, I would have done.
All of a sudden, they became big shots. Everybody's a big
Then why
shot.
didn't you go first, big shot?
Yeah, exactly. Then I'm like, hey, let's go again. No, well, that's not necessary. We don't need to do that again.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't.
Well, why don't we do the hayride?
They all pulled it wasn't that great. I'm like, dude, it got you guys. Boom. So anyway, I did need you. I guess that's the thing. You and I have been through this. And we had like the best time.
I like the hayride better, but yeah, it's funny. It's a good time.
Yeah, we have a good time. We're laughing. And then
there's some good scares.
The whole ride back, I get I don't know why you dragged us to this thing. Why did you drag it? And I'm like, this is fantastic.
We had a great time.
I'm like, you guys should be thanking me. You guys should be thanking me that I gave you some good entertainment.
What would we have done? Just sat home? Come on.
I know. So next year you have to go no matter what. Like, I'm just going to be like,
I would have loved to have gone, but you always seem to plan it when I'm not available. I even told
it happened
you I
to be
wasn't available.
It happened to be the cheap week. Like, it gets more expensive as you get closer to Halloween.
We could have paid $10 more.
I'm just saying, inflation's gone up. Your boy's got to cut back on some costs, expenditures. So, it was saving the extra.
Actually, you know what? It worked out because I wouldn't have been able to go this Saturday either because it's my brother's birthday. So, bam.
Hey, happy birthday, Rob.
Happy birthday tomorrow. Actually, midnight tonight.
So I got to tell you about. So we did the forest. I got to tell you about the scariest thing that happened to me this week. Okay, so
the scariest thing.
As we get older, there's certain things that you have to think about. And so I told you about the whole, like, having to poop in the box with the physical, all this kind of stuff. So this time, because prostate cancer runs in my family, I figure I got to get ahead of the curve.
Right. You got to get a prostate.
Typically, you don't have to get them till you're like 50, but because it runs in my family, it's advised to get them earlier. So I have to book a urologist appointment, and I don't know how to even do this because I'm sitting there going, knowing that they have to juggle your coulions and then they have to do the whole the finger thing.
Hello.
Do you go male or do you go female, doctor?
It doesn't matter.
So I couldn't.
I go female.
And I struggled for probably about a half an hour trying to figure out, what do I do? Like, do I go, ideally the older female would have been good, but then it was like,
no problem. I don't care. Young, old, don't care.
So I kind of panicked, but anyway, I settled on male. I was like, you know what? It's going to be a dude. He doesn't want to be there. I don't want to be there. Let's just knock it out. I figured it was going to be more militant, just drop them. Right. Let's get this thing on the road and go. So once again, I have bathroom issues. So I've had this on the calendar for about a month and a half. So as we're leading up, I'm sitting there going, okay, I don't want to eat like a big salad or something the night before because you don't know how things are going to go.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that my area is so clean you can eat off of it type of thing. So
it's pretty gross, but okay.
It is, but I'm stressing out. I'm completely oh my God, what am I going to eat the night before? I planned everything. I even planned the fact that I was going to evacuate and shower an hour before the actual event were to take place. So I was going to be extra
clean.
Nothing to worry about. My system's clean.
Mr. Clean.
I was going to be good, So I did that. Everything according to plan happened, and I'm checking off little boxes as things are going. So then I get into the room. They take a blood test because that's what you got to do. And the nurse then leaves, and it leaves me in the room by myself. And you have to wait 15 minutes before the doctor.
Are you in the little pullover thing?
No, at this point I'm just in my shorts and shirt.
Okay.
All of a sudden I get the bubble, where something is brewing, and I'm gonna have to fart. But I'm why
don't you just fart right there?
It wasn't fully established at that point. You just feel the rumbling. There's a slight rumble where you feel your
farts build up.
Yes, there's a build up where you can kind of feel like something's going to happen, but
What?
it's not quite ready to go. Not to mention, I don't want it to go because I don't know when the doctor's going to, like,
Right.
if I let it go out right before the doctor walks in, he's then walking into a whole nightmare.
Then he's gonna
So,
be like, what?
Because it's like a mystery of when he's going to actually show up. So I'm sitting there going, okay, I can't let it out, but it's festering. So I'm like, this is scary as hell. So my whole thing with the guy and the girl.
Yeah.
He knocks on the door, he walks in, and he brings in this very attractive, like, college age girl with him. And he's like, I hope you don't mind. I'm bringing in my scribe. And I'm like,
nice.
Well, no, I got to sit there and drop trowel.
Who cares?
And then have, like, and I'm like, is she going to be over his shoulder watching him stick his like fist in my rectum?
I would have been like, shaking.
So I was just like, oh, it's fine. Meanwhile, I have this like fart building up because I'm like, this isn't going to be good, you know?
Oh
and so I'm this time at this point panicking. I'm starting to sweat a little bit. I'm like completely like, oh my God, this is my nightmare. Not the haunted forest. This is my nightmare.
You're not going
down.
First here.
And literally, he's like, he asked a couple questions and I'm still trying to like, okay, how's this going to work? And so he then's like, okay, drop him. And so I did. And just as I bent over to like drop him, there was like a pop, like, you know, it was just like,
are you kidding?
It was like pop. And I'm now sitting there going, do I acknowledge it or do I just...
I hope you said sorry.
I didn't say anything because I'm just like, oh my gosh. I just turned white. I'm sitting there just going, okay, that's not awkward.
I cannot.
And he didn't say anything and neither did she.
I cannot believe you.
But yeah, so I then had to stand there as that just happened with my everything hanging out. And then he's just like, okay, put your elbows on the table. And I'm like, okay.
Nice.
And so
oh my God.
Not pleasant. Not a pleasant.
What did you think it was going to be? I mean, you had
no, like I knew it wasn't going to be pleasant, but like the sheer panic in my, like, you know, I have bathroom issues. So just this whole like, fortunately for me, he was like, I don't see any issues, blah, blah, blah. I'll see you next year type of thing, which is good. That's what you want. Yeah. That's what you want to hear. But I mean, like, oh my God, the sheer night, like instead of haunted,
worked up. I mean, I would have just been like, I would have dropped. I'd have been like, hey, cool.
Yeah. Like instead of the haunted forest, you should just, instead of having to go to different sections with like chainsaw people, they should make me go to different doctors.
Yeah, exactly.
Like different doctors that are examining my private parts. But you know,
I can't believe you get worked up over that stuff.
Oh, I get so paranoid. It literally eats at me for like a week leading up to it, of just like, oh, how's this going to go? But like I said, I plan my meals accordingly, all this stuff. You wouldn't even care.
Nope.
Like, what if it happened?
I would drop trowel in front of anybody, anytime.
And if you just had to rip, you would just let it go.
No, that part I would worry a little bit about. But if it happened, I'm like, oops, sorry.
Just run.
Slipped.
Yeah, let it roll.
I got a little too comfortable or something.
I was planning it where I wanted to have like the best presentation possible.
Right. I would have said something like, oh, maybe the, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit wasn't a good idea.
But like, yeah, they were complete professionals about it. But I did not expect
That's awesome. You got a hottie there.
I didn't expect to have a witness. You know what I mean? Like I'm not prepared for witnesses. You know, I can only imagine what the conversation was after I left. You know.
Oh yeah, they definitely said something. They're like, oh my God, what about that?
Yeah, it's like, is that like the worst thing you've ever seen in your life or what? You know.
No, I'm sure they've seen worse.
Oh, like
absolutely, they've seen.
And
worse.
I'm pretty sure I was like the final for the day, like the end of the day. I was their last hurrah.
Oh my God, they're like, now I need a drink.
Yeah. And so anyway, so I got one
they're
more.
Probably at like having a drink at like
Capital
One, going like pop.
Yeah.
Pop.
Can you believe that dude just popped in front of? And the worst is it wasn't silent, which would have been better at least, because then I could kind of go, look, I think your girl did that, you know.
You would have.
I totally would have blamed somebody else. Don't think I wouldn't have. But anyway, so that was my nightmare. I'm telling you, I'm living nightmares at this point.
Nice.
Yeah, so not a good thing for me this week. It's been pretty scary, let's just say.
Wow.
But all is well, and I will say, folks, definitely go get checked out. The last thing
Absolutely, you have to do that.
you definitely don't want to get prostate cancer. You definitely
you don't want to
wanna
be surprised.
There's too many stories where I hear people that don't get checked out,
And then something
and
happens.
it's way too late. There's nothing you can do to help.
Dude, we knew a guy who had skin cancer. I knew a guy who had high blood pressure. I mean,
so
there's too many of them.
Yeah. So as much as it's my nightmare, I still got to do it. I still got to, step up.
It's your duty.
Yeah. So
you can take your kids to Markoff's forest next year.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be around next year to do that again. But it was almost like, see you next year. Like it's a date. And then
see you next year. We got to do this every year?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, you totally got to get checked out.
Every year you got to do a prostate exam.
Yes.
No.
Why wouldn't you do? Yes.
Oh, no.
That's what happens when you get older. And
I'm going to go every 2 years.
By the way, you definitely don't want to get prostate cancer. That's not fun.
No, but I'll go every 2 years. I'm not going every year. That's awful.
I don't know.
But you're a little on the worry side.
Well, yeah, but
like there's worry side, and you are like, if there's a meter and it's
I worry about
W's on the
everything.
left and NW's on the right, you're W.
Oh, I'm 100% worried. Which, by the way, the lady was like, "Would you like to schedule your appointment for next year?" I'm like,
"What? Really?
Like it? Sure." And she's like, "What day is best for you?" Like, I don't know what I'm doing next year. I'm like, you pick a date.
Oh,
and
let me look at my calendar because I got next year all.
I was like,
planned out.
You pick a date and surprise me. How about that? And
next year.
But then she goes, the best is she goes, it was like Wednesday, October 11th good. And I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
I'm like,
sounds great.
Yeah, as far as I know, I'll be here. According to the doc, at least.
Yeah, like I'm not I don't look forward to this.
Yeah, no. So now I got a year to think about it. I got a year to plan my meals.
Trust me, I will break. If something else is going on, I will break the date and reschedule. I mean,
like next year, will the hottie be the one actually doing the insertion and checking my coulions, or
there you go.
That'd be it. So I guess I thought about it. So you don't care. You just wouldn't care. You'd probably pick a female. Is what
always
your go-to is.
Everything I do, everything I do except for my doctor.
I just didn't want her to if she was holding on and then giggle. If she just let out like a little giggle or something, I don't need that. Because then it'd be like, well, why did she giggle? Now is she going to go tell everybody else in the office? Blah, blah, blah.
She giggled.
You know what I mean? Like if she goes drop them and then she just makes a quick giggle and then you're just like,
yeah, then you're like,
what do you do? Like,
then you're gonna be like, what'd you giggle at?
Yeah.
And then she's going to lie. Oh, I was on TikTok, something funny.
Yeah. It always, my friend told me a joke earlier.
Right. That's exactly.
And meanwhile, she's like got your schmeckle in her hands and giggling.
Schmeckle.
So I don't know.
They hold your schmeckle, but that's okay.
Oh, he did.
He holds your schmeckle?
Yeah, he if
they hold your schmeckle, I'm definitely getting a female.
He kind of cupped the coulions, and then he lifted the schmeckle up basically, and it was like cough, and then he had me cough like twice.
Oh, but he doesn't hold the schmeckle.
He kind of did.
Supports the schmeckle.
He supported it, I guess. Yeah, but
there's a difference between supporting the schmeckle and holding the schmeckle.
You got to do like a little squeeze type of thing. You
don't squeeze the whole schmeckle.
No, he squeezes the deals, the berries.
You're not going to shaft squeeze.
No, he didn't do that. But he lifted it up, a little bit. I was like, okay,
You're not John Holmes.
Trust me, I'm not.
Right?
I don't know.
He didn't ask her for help.
That would have been the best. Pardon me, attractive college girl. Could you please move part of this?
I mean, if there was something there that was hung like a tree, right? Then it'd been like, hey, I need some help for this one.
Fortunately, it went by very quick.
Okay,
it was a quick. He wasn't trying to be there. I wasn't trying to be there.
We both wanted to get out.
Yeah, it was just get in there, and then it was like, how many fingers can I stick in it? Like,
oh God,
I'm telling you, I felt like the guy was.
Gotta get away.
He was trying to tickle my brain, so rough. It's not fun. Not pleasant.
Wow. And now I'm never gonna schedule an appointment.
Okay, but everybody, you should do it. Stay safe, everybody. We need you guys as listeners. So
Wow.
I hope I didn't scare everybody away.
Not everybody.
Okay, so now it's time for movies of the week.
Nice.
So the big movie this week is Halloween Kills or Halloween Ends.
I cannot wait.
It's Halloween Ends. I don't know why I said Halloween Kills. It's Halloween Ends. I personally think it's going to suck, but I just want it to be over with.
It's probably going to suck.
I just want it to be over with. I hope he takes Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie, and kills her and just be done with it. And I hope it actually solves our thing where you think once she dies, he's done killing and all that. So he goes about his day, joins a bowling group and all that stuff. I hope that happens. I hope he just kills her.
Well, he's either going to die or they die together. So
they're going to die together. And so it just needs to happen. I don't want it to draw on like the last one wasn't that good.
It was okay.
It had some decent death scenes, but it was too long. There was a lot of stupid shenanigans.
Yeah, that was the hard part with the last one.
Yeah,
where they were beating him up in the street, and then there's too many.
The whole uprising in that building or whatever. It was too much.
Right, there was too many loose ends and conveniences.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's gonna suck, but I just want it over with. Just be done
I have
with
to see
it.
it though. Like, I mean,
don't get me wrong.
It's a rite of passage.
I'm watching it like tomorrow when it comes out. I don't think I'll be watching it. By the way, another movie that was like that, which I talked about last week, but I hadn't seen it. I saw it this weekend because I was really excited to see it, but I saw the new Hellraiser and it couldn't have sucked anymore. I was looking forward to it. I was so excited to watch it, and it was painfully boring. It was painfully boring.
Yeah, I was.
The death scenes are
really
terrible.
Disappointing because you tell me like the slow death scenes.
Yes,
it's uninteresting.
But they don't even show the death scenes in a lot of cases. Like,
how do you not show the death scene?
You see like chains going and getting people, and then all of a sudden it cuts to a new scene. I'm like, what the hell? Give me the payoff. Like you're gonna leave me out.
You watch a horror movie to see like
you want a payoff,
to see knives going through flesh or like mutated hands or
and their
legs or heads or
painfully slow. Like
chains going in and out of the body. That's what you want to see.
Yeah. Pinhead is painfully slow. His little henchmen that are around him,
the ones that they move
are
like sloth.
Very annoying. There's one that looks like she could be Asian though. I'd be okay with that one.
Okay.
So there's one good henchman.
You're not going to escape. You're like, I'll just wait right here for you.
No, there's a henchman one that, like I said, it's hard to tell, but I think it might be an Asian woman. I'm just assuming. I'm okay with that
slow?
one.
I mean, you could easily escape.
Painfully slow. But then there's one with a breathing problem that's so obnoxious because all you hear is like the and it goes. Bane? Yeah, but it goes so slow. It's like a slug. And you're like, come on, just get with it.
Yeah, just get there and take their head off.
I fast forward. Like the other thing too, the characters are not likable. You don't care about them. There's nothing redeemable
you mean
about
the
them.
ones that like open the box,
main, like the main
maze,
characters.
Whatever, the
you don't care about
the cube.
Them. Not good actors and actresses. Personality wise, you don't care. So then I found myself fast forwarding a lot. I was like, let me just get to the death scenes.
And that's not. I mean, when you have to fast forward in a movie, it's not worth it.
Yeah. So anyway, Hellraiser sucked. Don't waste your time seeing it. Okay, so now we'll get to more movies that are coming out this week.
All right.
Okay, so there's a movie called Till that comes out this week.
Till.
It's actually about Emmett Till, and the reason
Emmett Till.
The reason why I know Emmett Till is because my favorite local band, Emmett Swimming, who just announced they're playing at the 930 Club, which your boy already has tickets to go see.
How do you already have tickets that they just announced it?
Because I'm on the pre-sale. I'm in the know. So
gotcha.
I got the tickets first.
Are they going to do our show?
We need to try. Well, I'll try again and get them. But anyway.
Didn't they come last time and we didn't?
They keep saying that they're going to do it, then they don't. But anyway. So anyway, Emmett Till I found out him because Emmett Swimming is named after Emmett Till. Because everybody thinks the lead singer's name is Emmett, and it's not the case. It's after Emmett Till. So Emmett Till was a 14-year-old black kid in, I want to say it was like Chicago or something. And what happened was a white lady walked by and he whistled at her, and he ended up getting lynched. And so,
whoa!
So this is basically about his mom, in her strive for justice.
It was
you know.
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Okay, thank you. But I think he was from Chicago, but visiting Mississippi. I could be wrong, but I feel like Chicago had something to do with it. Yeah, he was born and raised in Chicago. Yeah.
He was on
But he was
vacation during summer vacation. He was visiting relatives in Mississippi.
Yeah, in 1955. So
And he whistled, and then he got
lynched. And the funny thing is, we don't even know that he whistled because I think there's even argument of the lady just kind of made it up. And anyway, a 14-year-old boy got lynched, which is never a good thing. He got drowned basically, which is hence the name Emmett Swimming. But anyway,
wow.
So the movie Till, it looks like it's going to be really good. It looks like it's one of those good quality made movies. So it's called Till.
But if it's about him, we know how it ends, and we know.
No, it's actually about his mom and her seeking justice for her son.
Oh, okay.
So then the next one I think is more a movie for our audience and you. It's called Accident Man, and it's actually a sequel. But so it's called Accident Man, and the sequel is A Hitman's Holiday. So the premise, and I think it's like he sounds almost Australian or British. So I think it's a movie from that era because there's no like English. Well, they're all speaking English, but with the accents. So anyway, the guy plays like a top hitman, like a John Wick type of person, and he's basically paid to make sure that this mobster's dummy kid survives because a bunch of people
are after him.
There's a huge hit on this kid,
right? And they're like,
you have to protect this kid
from all the people that are
so it's kind of John Wickish. So there's a bunch of different hitmen all chasing him, and he's got to like fend him off. Action packed,
like you said,
looks good. We're gonna
John Wick.
It's got some comedy to it, and it's in all the stuff you want to see. A lot of killing and stuff like that. So it's called Accident Man: A Hitman's Holiday. And once again, I think it's a sequel. So go check out the first one.
An initial.
There was an initial Accident Man. The next movie is called Shantaran.
Is that one of those Indian movies?
No, it's actually stars Charlie Hunnam.
I know that guy.
And then I think Brad Pitt's in it too, but he's credited in it. But I think I don't know how big he is in it. But it's based on a guy who is like ex drug dealer, druggie, all that kind of stuff, and he's basically exiled he's running from the law in all of these other countries, but he lands in like India, and so. Once he gets in India, he basically, so he basically, as much as he gets away, he ends up finding a way to get back into gun running and all this kind of stuff.
Sure.
So it's another action type of movie. It looks really good.
Makes sense. That's why the title. Yeah. Good actor, should be a good plot.
And that's on Apple Plus, I believe.
Nice.
I think it's in the movie theater as well.
All right.
But that one specifically is going to be on Apple Plus. Shantaran. And so it looks good. I definitely want to check it out.
Will be worth watching.
Yeah. And so the other things, couple trailers came out this week.
Oh my God.
For Christmas movies, because Christmas is coming around the corner.
And they have to put them out early.
So there's 2 Christmas movie trailers that came out this week. One of them, the first one is basically Ryan Reynolds and your boy, Frank the Tank.
Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. It's basically, I feel like it's Scrooged. It's the whole take on. I don't know if
I've seen this preview yet.
Yeah, it's called Spirited.
It's probably going to be terrible.
The trailer came out yesterday, and Ryan Reynolds plays the Scrooge type of. Everything screams Scrooge to like the Bill Murray Scrooge.
Right, got it.
And so Viola Davis is in it. It's the same thing. If you like Ryan Reynolds humor and Will Ferrell,
I do like Ryan Reynolds.
Will Ferrell is like the ghost of Christmas present.
Will
or
Ferrell
future
kind
or whatever.
of fell off the map though for me.
Definitely. I think people when they hear Will Ferrell in a Christmas movie immediately want to go to Elf and relive Elf. But
this is not going to reincarnate that Elf movie.
No, it looks like it's typical Ryan Reynolds. I think it'll get a certain audience. I think it'll probably bomb more than it'll be. It won't
absolutely
be as good.
It'll bomb. The Ryan Reynolds isn't that good unless he's doing like Deadpool. I know he's got
Yeah.
the TV show that's working out for him, but
Welcome at Wrexham is the best.
right.
Yeah,
But I
love
mean,
it.
that's short TV. That's not.
Mhm.
I don't think he can do a movie anymore.
We'll see.
I mean,
I'll check
Deadpool's
it out.
great.
No,
Deadpool's awesome.
But he was in that movie. What was that movie that
Oh, the Hitman's Bodyguard. He does okay.
not the
in that.
Hitman's Bodyguard. There was
Red.
Was it Red?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was good.
That was good. Yeah, but you had 2 other actors in that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, my girl Gal Gadot, and you have Dwayne Johnson.
True. Okay. Well, we'll check it. It's one of those things. I'm not going to rush to the theater to see it, but if it's free on one of the streaming platforms,
Of course, you'll watch it.
I'll watch it. Don't think I won't.
Because you watch everything.
Yes. The next movie I'm excited about, and I know you're excited about, it's called Violent Night.
100%. I want to see it.
And I got to give Space Coast Bill credit because he put it on Facebook and I saw it and it looks awesome.
Oh, is he the one?
He's the one that
I saw it.
Yeah, he put it on Facebook.
Oh, yeah,
And
because
then-
I was like, oh my God, I got to see this movie.
So this movie is,
Actually, no, wait. I got mine on IMDb.
well, I don't think our audience cares too much. I was
Okay.
just giving Space Coast Bill a shout out.
That's awesome. I didn't see that, but yeah, the movie looks amazing.
Yeah, so basically it's uber rich family, gets taken over by burglars. John Leguizamo, I believe, is the main
Leguizamo, he's the
burglar
main
guy.
He's the main
Yeah.
burglar, thief, whatever
Yeah.
guy who wants to
Yeah.
take down this rich family.
And then Santa Claus comes, and Santa Claus is played by the guy who plays Hopper in Stranger Things, which I don't typically like him much as an actor, but he looks like he looks kind of like a bad Santa Claus, even though he's like the real Santa Claus. He's just kind of down and out. Like he kind of looks.
The way they make him look, it looks like he is a bum Santa Claus.
Yeah. But he also has the Bruce Willis Die Hard aspect.
And that's why I want to see it.
Of not really wanting to do this, but if he has to kill you, he's gonna kill you.
Yeah, he's got to save the day,
Yeah.
and he knows how to do it, and he's really Santa Claus. That's a pretty cool thing.
So he goes.
So it's not like he's not like this vigilante or
no.
hero that's trying to save the day. He's legitimately Santa Claus, and he's saving Christmas.
Yeah, basically. And so it's like Nakatomi Plaza with rich people, and he's got to get in there and whoop some ash.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So it's.
I watched some of the preview. I was excited, but then when he took the metal star and dug it into the guy's noggin head, I was like, I got to see this.
Yeah, so check out the trailer. It's called Violent Night. And so that is the movies for this week.
Boom.
Boom. Okay. With that being said,
this is Cindy Starfall, and it's time for Mooney's Dugout. Love you, Mooney.
Awesome.
Boom. Solid.
Awesome.
Yes. It doesn't get any more awesome.
No, it doesn't get any better. All right. So no, I don't really, you know what? I don't have a parlay ready. I'm going to have one before the end of the show.
Okay.
I'm going to have one for the end of the show, but I will have one.
Should I tip you off and kick off the Mooney's Dugout?
Well, that's right. No, it was on the dugout, but NHL hockey season open, and I couldn't have asked for a better start last night than the Capitals losing.
Boom.
And who played the first game? That was Rangers and Toronto.
No,
not Toronto.
Avalanche in Chicago.
No, that was last night. The first game was.
The first game was
Wednesday night. It was Rangers versus Tampa Bay, I think.
Last night was Wednesday night.
Then it was Tuesday. Tuesday was the first night.
Okay. Because it's really, really exciting. Except for me, I'm wearing the Flyers jersey, folks.
My God, the Flyers are going to be awful.
But this is funny. So it came out today that.
Is this why you wanted to talk about the Flyers?
Yes.
All right.
So John Tortorella, who I hate personally, is the coach of the Flyers, my favorite team of all time. And the reporters basically asked him, they were like, is this team good at anything? And he literally just said no.
Wow.
He was like,
how can you out your team like that?
And he tried to put he was like, there's no drive, there's no because they were like, does anybody skate good? No. Does anybody shoot good?
I'm
no.
sure there's people that do that. He's being a little bit.
He basically said it's his job to mold the team into something, because right now they're nothing. And I'm like, that's what you want to hear starting out.
he just completely insulted the team in his first press
Because
conference.
you know how I get, where everybody gets a clean slate,
Wow.
and I'm like, this is our year, right? I know this is not our year. Like, we're gonna be awful, and hopefully we get an awesome draft, lottery position. That's all I can hope for at this point.
Yeah, and you know what? There's always a star hockey player that changes a team. Always.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe one of the nobodies that's on the team will represent and be the next big person. But at this point, it's not looking good. I'm not gonna lie. Our preseason wasn't good. We won one.
Did you have a good draft? I know. Didn't you have a good draft? I thought you had a good draft.
We always seem to draft really well, but then somehow they flake out in the AHL. So it's never we're cursed.
You're cursed.
We're cursed.
All right.
And so
I don't know if I buy that you're cursed, but that's okay.
We still have like Ryan Ellis, who literally played, I think, like 4 games last year and then had a mystery illness and just refuses to go play for the team. Like, he just doesn't, the team doesn't even know what he's doing.
And he's on the team, but he's not playing.
Yeah, he's on the team, but he's not playing.
How does that work?
I have no idea. Like, I'm telling you, a lot of these players aren't even held accountable. I know, you would think if you paid money for a contract, you would have some say in when they play and all that kind of good stuff. But no one seems to know. They're keeping that like under lock and key.
Wow. All right.
So it's crazy. So my team's going to suck, but I'm still supporting them no matter what.
Okay. So the reason I know the hockey season started Tuesday is because baseball playoffs also started Tuesday. Technically, it started for the wild card over on, I believe, Friday of last week. But wild card games are kind of stupid. So the playoffs started Tuesday, and you have the Yankees playing the Guardians. You have the Mariners playing the Astros. You have the Padres playing the Dodgers. And then you have the Phillies playing the Braves. And so I don't know who's going to win the World Series at this point. Probably the Dodgers because they're loaded to every position, but praying for the Yankees. But I'm kind of a realist, and we're probably going to get beat by the Astros because they always beat us, and I hate them.
Awesome.
All right, so I have some World Series facts for you. Hopefully we'll go through these really quick. Toronto is the only team outside the U.S. to win the World Series. So why do they call it a World Series if it's only been won once by a team outside the U.S.?
It is kind of dumb to say world.
And there's only one team it could be now, Toronto.
Yeah.
Before you had Montreal
Expos,
right? But there is no more Montreal. They became the Washington Nationals.
Yeah.
So now you have only one non-domestic team.
What do you say? You say NBA world champions. Like you could be Canada.
Right, but there's Toronto.
I'm trying to think. What do they say in football? They say world champions.
They say Super Bowl champion.
They don't say the world champs.
Not really. They say
I don't know. I guess
they
I
say
just
Super Bowl
assume.
champion, and in NHL it's NHL champion.
Yeah.
But they call it the NHL championship. They don't call
it.
it.
They don't call it the world champion. Yeah,
right.
I guess,
That's what I'm saying.
You're saying.
The MLB is called the World Series.
Dumb. I don't like baseball anyway. I'm sorry.
I don't know why they call it a World Series. Kind of
Dumb.
stupid. I'm going to research that for next time. I thought this one was cool. In 1904, the Giants owner didn't like the owner of the Boston Americans, so he refused to play the World Series. He just refused. He said, no, I don't want to play it.
Oh,
And they didn't have to forfeit. They just canceled the World Series.
that's awesome.
He's like, no, I don't like that guy. The guy's a schmuck. I hate him. And they canceled the World Series.
That's crazy.
How do you do that?
By the way,
you can't do that now.
The way you said Giants reminded me of something. You know, the Giants of New York played the Packers of Green Bay this past week, and I saw the Coming to America, because remember that was the whole thing
Right.
when Eddie Murphy goes, the Giants of New York played the Packers of Green Bay. It happened this week, folks.
That's awesome. The World Series ring started as their tradition in 1922. And this is the last one. Deion Sanders is the only player to win a World Series and a Super Bowl.
Wow.
Deion Sanders won the World Series in 1992,
Mm-hmm.
and he won in Super Bowl 95 and Super Bowl 96.
That's something that should be celebrated.
One with
more.
San Francisco and one with Dallas. That's pretty cool.
That should absolutely.
And I don't know of any other player who's won 2 championships in 2 leagues.
Well, because if you think about it, who was the only other? Bo Jackson was the only.
Yeah.
But he didn't do it.
But I'm saying NHL and NBA, right? There's no. I mean, obviously NHL wouldn't combine with anything.
No, not really. But that's something that, like, I guess I've never really been a fan of Deion Sanders, but in a weird sort of way, he should get more shine on that. Like,
he should.
He should definitely, like,
I
people should
agree.
bring that up more often, because I think people sleep on him quite a bit, and he's done something that no one else has done, and to be
no one else has done,
and not dominant, but to be good enough on both sports to win
and play.
That's
like
awesome.
It's not like he wasn't.
Yeah,
playing.
he wasn't riding the bench, so
right.
It's like,
it's not like he got up and ran for the best player on the.
Yeah, like that's something he should definitely.
They're like, good hit, big guy. What, Deion, go run.
Yeah, like
right?
he should get some kind of. There should be an award. There should be some kind of a statue somewhere to him that just says, "Hey, look, this is what this guy did."
Not even Shecky, whoever.
Shecky Manning, Shecky Feldstein.
Not even Shecky Feldstein has played like in.
Yeah, exactly. So no, well, thank you for bringing it up, because I didn't think about it.
That's what I was shocked.
And
I was like, that's
way
a
to
cool.
go, Neon Deion.
So I thought that one was pretty cool. And of course, NFL is. I forgot to mention this. Matt Rhule was let go.
Yes.
The first NFL coach of the season to be let go.
Yes.
And Ron Rivera may be up next if they lose tonight.
Hopefully. So,
but get this, Rhule was 7-year contract. So he only coached for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's going to be paid for 4 more years.
Awesome. I love a good payday like that.
And guess what? He is going to get a college coaching job immediately.
Yeah, so you get double pay. Awesome.
Yeah, he's going to get a college coaching job, so his job will probably be easier. He'll probably go back to being successful, and he's going to get double pay. He's going to get
he's going to make $834,000 a month for the next 48 months. Just sitting
awesome.
at home. If he just sits at home.
If he just sits at home.
That's awesome. Good for him.
How mad would my wife be? You know her. How mad would my wife be if I said, I'm just going to sit at home and make $830,000?
Oh, livid.
No, she would be like, you go work, make more money.
No.
Like, I already spent the $830,000.
No, but I think the fact that she had to work while you didn't would be a whole nother thing.
No, what I'm saying is if she knew I could get another job and make more, she would be like, oh, the 834 is already spent.
She would hustle you out like a champ.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
No. By the way, sports related, something happened to me today. I was at another doctor's appointment, and I was talking to it was a nutritionalist in this case. And, they always try to make small talk, in between business. And she was talking about football. And so she said that she's a Cowboys fan, whatever, I don't care. So, and so we talked a little bit about Cowboys, and of course I'm just kind of going with the motions. And she was saying how, like, they're playing the Eagles this week. And she's like, she thinks they're going to beat the Eagles. And I'm like, I don't think so. I said, I have money like the Eagles. And I said, I kind of have a soft spot for the Eagles. I know I'm established Redskins fan, but just because of history. And this is what I thought was funny. She goes, I kind of like the Eagles too.
What?
No, but this is where it gets better. She goes, I'm a big fan of that guy. She goes, what's his name? The guy from Virginia Tech. And I'm sitting there going, and she goes,
Michael Vick?
She goes, the one with the dogs. And I'm like, you're a big fan of Michael Vick, the one with the dogs. Like, he
played for the Eagles for like a year or two.
I know, but if you think about it, he's known for killing dogs.
Yeah, like, how could you be a big fan of him? No one's a big fan of him.
I'm a fan of that guy Dahmer who liked to eat people. Remember the guy who likes to eat people?
Oh, Kevin Spacey's my favorite actor.
I've never heard
right? No, you don't hear that.
Most ladies, especially, aren't going to be going and championing Michael Vick. Remember, like, Ron Mexico even.
Well, I mean,
But like really, the one with the dogs. That's the one I like.
People still wear Ray Lewis jerseys.
True.
Kareem Hunt jerseys.
True. But
And you know what they did.
I'm a big fan of the one with the dogs.
Awful.
I was just like, wow.
Well, and then when she said, like, I like that Virginia Tech guy, Virginia Tech, I think you could times my second most hated team by 10, and they still wouldn't equal my hatred toward Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much I hate Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a bus going off the cliff, I want Virginia Tech to be on that bus. And they said, we could fit more. I'd be like, no, just put more Virginia Tech people on it.
Their mascot's a turkey.
He's all, whatever.
Might be the worst
Hokie?
mascot. It's a turkey.
They're called the Hokies.
I think
their
a
name.
Hokie is a slang for a turkey of some sort.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
dumb.
That's the name of their team, the Hokies.
It's probably one of the worst mascots ever.
If I went to the school, I would hate
The
hate
color
team.
scheme is even awful.
It's pure,
Orange and burgundy.
unadulterated
Awful.
vomit. It
Yeah.
actually looks like vomit.
Hokie
Yes.
is actually a reference to their fight song
So why is a turkey like their thing?
because
Did it become
apparently
Thanksgiving?
when it was a military school, when it started as a military school way back in the day, some general, the story is that some general came and visited the school during mealtime and was giving a talk, and the guys, the soldiers were, or the students were just like so hungry they were just eating so much that he commented like, "You're all a bunch of gobblers," and that turned into
What?
So they were
the turkeys.
they were like one
Fight
day
about
away from becoming meatloafs.
So
Basically, is that what I'm hearing?
Right, like if you said it
like-
differently,
Like you guys are the mystery meats, come on, stupid.
you're a bunch of gobblers.
Oh my gosh.
Like he could have said ravenous dogs or something.
Yeah.
Like
I'm telling now I picture Meatloaf being their their mascot, just a big
just a
thing of
big piece of
meatloaf.
meatloaf. How do you have a meatloaf as a mascot?
Or like a side of mashed
the
potatoes.
Virginia Tech meatloafs?
Yeah, something like that. That's awful. I hate you for telling me the story. I wish I didn't know that.
The gobblers?
That is so
And then they
stupid.
go with the turkey?
dumb.
And then the Hokies is in reference to their fight song?
Dumb. The whole
Their
thing
whole thing
dumb.
is their colors. They don't have any good history. They should completely destroy the team.
Yes. Oh, we just lost
And
all-
the
the
school.
team's pretty much
Any
destroyed
listeners-
itself.
or
So
any listeners that went to Virginia Tech, sorry folks.
They know. Here's the thing. If you went to Virginia Tech, you know you're the most hated school out there. You have to. Like, I'm a Yankees fan. I know they're the most hated team
Mhm.
in Major League Baseball. I know
Wow.
people love watching their team and watching the Yankees lose. Hey, come on. I know it. I'm not. Virginia Tech is that school. Everywhere I go, every city I've ever been, no one likes Virginia Tech except for people who go there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So
I never would go, oh, I can stand Virginia Tech. No, I can get a what? Unless you
would
have a kid who went there. If you have a kid who goes there, of course you like it.
they would be better off at like changing their name to like the Fighting Michael Vicks or something
The
like that.
Fighting
the
Michael
Vic.
Vicks.
The
They would.
the Vicks at this point would have been much better.
And I'm sure their team, I'm sure the fans would be like, what are they going to do?
Yeah, like the Pit Bulls, something like that.
Pit
But I hate myself for now knowing that story. So
that I hope your son goes there.
no, it's not going to happen. He's he's literally has two choices, and he's either going
Penn State or
Penn
George
State or
Mason.
George Mason, which quite frankly, George Mason's going to be cheaper. So I'm for it. Unless he gets a scholarship to Penn State.
There you
then
go.
I'm for it. But anyway, so that's the official Moonies
Penn State repping. Right here.
sports.
Boom. Penn
Solid.
State.
He's rocking a Penn State shirt today too.
Ooh,
The boy.
nice.
Solid. Okay, so are we ready for? Do you want to do TV or backstage pass? I'm gonna let you pick it.
TV.
Okay, TV. So there's
Because I'm going to get a drink during backstage pass.
wow. I got some good nuggets for backstage pass.
And music is probably my least favorite thing in the world. So
Okay, well I'll talk to Brian then.
there you go.
Okay, so TV. The number one show on Netflix right now is a show called The Midnight Club.
The Midnight Club.
So
I think I've heard of it
I'm about 7 episodes
already. It's new, and you're already
I'm
7
in. And so
What'd you do? Like stay up till 4 a.m, watch during work? I already know the answer.
you know how I do this, sir. I stay up late. Anyway, I've been watching the show more for curiosity because I knew
Curiosity?
So I knew it was like the #1 show on Netflix, and I'm like, let me check it out.
Just because everyone else liked it.
The storyline is pretty morbid. It's basically a group of kids who are in a hospice. They all have terminal cancer, and it takes place in the 90s.
Why would I want to see this?
One of the kids has AIDS. Like, it takes place in the 90s, but all of them are terminal. So they're in a hospice, and it's a special house that has, in a weird sort of way, kind of mysterious powers to it.
Ah, okay.
And so there's like underlining like paganism. There's different type of things, but these kids, there's almost a little bit of a Dead Poet Society to it too, where they all meet up at midnight and tell ghost stories. Like, they all kind of create a story, but each story kind of gives a little insight.
Getting better.
Each story gives a little insight to their own personality and their own trials and tribulations. My problem is, I'm sitting there, like, it occurred to me that I almost don't know if I have to finish it, and I've been watching it and I've been enjoying it, but it's not great. It's not like, oh my God, you have to see it, but I'm watching it. And I realized halfway through that this is basically, I picture a group of people at Netflix going, okay, we need our next Stranger Things. What are we going to do? Stranger Things is ending. We need a new Stranger Things. Yeah. So somebody goes, hey, why don't we get a show that also deals with kids roughly the same age, but instead of the 80s, we'll put it in the 90s.
Of course.
The soundtrack,
make them a little older.
The soundtrack is fantastic. It's all 90s hits.
Right.
So then
Green
it's
Day,
like,
Pearl Jam,
and we're not going
to,
it's like, we're not going to make it so scary that it turns people off. We're going to make it just a little, just edgy, just like I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, they're literally following the Stranger Things algorithm, storyline. They're not close, but it's still, you take the same, like a group of kids dealing with, and trying to find essentially a cure, but they have this thing also that, like, if one of them dies, there's a pact that if they can talk from the other side, they're going to communicate with each other.
Okay.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. If you like Stranger Things, you'll probably really enjoy it. I just don't know if I like the fact that I feel like I've already seen Oz behind the curtain, knowing that Netflix is clearly trying to get the Stranger Things audience.
Yep.
I think that's the only thing that's bothering me about it. But other than that, I kind of like it. It is very morbid because you're dealing with teenagers that know they're going to die. Like, they're literally,
that part I would have a hard time
like
with.
Hospice and just.
But it sounds like something I could
I think you would. I think
possibly dig.
If you like Stranger Things, I think you would like it. And the funny thing is, they brought our girl. You know how Stranger Things had Winona Ryder, who was the big throwback, like, previous actress. This one is Heather Langenkamp, our girl.
Nice.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
We have her autograph.
She played Nancy on Nightmare on Elm Street, so she plays like the head
if people
doctor.
Didn't know that, I don't want to be friends.
I know, right? I didn't even reference it. So she plays the head doctor in this hospice, essentially. Also, the guy who played Matt Saracen on Friday Night Lights.
I don't know that dude.
He's in it too. So anyway, check it out. It's called The Midnight Club.
This sounds like something I could watch.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Check it out. It's on Netflix. So then the next one and the last one I'm going to highlight on TV is also on Netflix. It's more of a movie. It's not a series, but it's called The Redeem Team, and it's basically a documentary on
redeeming coupons.
No, on the basketball, the men's Olympic basketball team with Kobe and Dwayne Wade.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade is the producer of it, and it basically just shows how, obviously with the Dream Team, they started out great, then they started losing and they weren't happy about it. So then it's the whole build up with like Coach K and
the Redeem Team was their, like, the US's return to glory because they started putting crap on the court.
Yeah. And a couple things. One thing I thought that was interesting was they really showed how like Kobe, when he came in, he was like the last person to come in.
D-Wade was on that team too.
Oh yeah, he was on the one that didn't win, but also on the Redeem team.
Right.
But they showed how Kobe basically had like no friends. They were like going going into it, they said it was really weird because he had no friends whatsoever, and he had to start and build friends within this group. And they said there was one story where everything was done in Vegas. So they went out partying. They all went out partying. They came in at like 5 a.m. As they're walking in, Kobe is all dressed up. He's got like ankle weights on. They're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm training," because he didn't go out with them. He just stayed at the hotel.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Are you serious?" And like they all got in the elevator and like, "Can you believe this guy? Like this is what he does." And they said by the end of the week, every one of them was getting up at 5 a.m. and like training with Kobe. It just except for Carmelo Anthony was like, he goes, "I got up earlier, but I wasn't getting up at like 5 a.m." And I'm like, "Well, that's why you're not Kobe,
Hey man,
and that's what it takes,
people argue he's right there with Jordan. I don't, but he was an amazing player.
Yeah, but it was a really good job. It's just like
he
you obviously
absolutely had work ethic.
Yeah, you obviously know how it ends, all the stuff, but it's actually a fun movie
I would watch because people argued that whether it was either him or D-Wade that carried that team.
Well, they showed it. D-Wade came off the bench in the final game, and if it weren't for him, they wouldn't have won.
Right, and that's why I think everyone's like, D-Wade was a big player.
He definitely, came off the bench and bailed them out.
I think Gary Payton was on that team too.
They didn't show him. The main people that they had was basically Kobe and LeBron and like.
Oh, that's right, LeBron.
And LeBron was like, it was funny because Kobe doesn't talk, but yet LeBron is the one making everybody laugh, and he's like, so they had two different leadership styles. Was cool. Yeah, so very good. It was fun to watch. Definitely check it out.
You got to hear Kyle's opinion. He likes basketball.
Yeah, and so it's called The Redeem Team, and it's on Netflix as of now. Okay, now it's time for a backstage pass.
Backstage.
Boom. Are you just going to leave right now, or
I'm going to get a drink? So
okay,
Brian, talk to Matt about.
Hey, Brian.
Music.
Okay, since Mooney's leaving and we're on YouTube, and you're going to see him leave like last episode. This week, just like I've mentioned in the past couple weeks, huge weeks for music.
Huge.
No, one of my favorite bands, Blue October, album drops tomorrow.
Oh man, can't wait.
It's called Spinning Around the Truth, Part 1.
So there's going to be a part
obviously 2. I'm assuming, which would be great if there wasn't.
No, that would be
I would be better if there wasn't.
If they did that.
Yes, I will say the later Blue October, I'm a big fan of their earlier stuff. The later stuff, now that like Justin's over his drug addictions and all that kind of stuff, it's a little bit more saccharine for me. But I love everything Blue October. I'm gonna buy it when it comes out tomorrow. The big news of the week is Blink 182. Blink 182 got back together with Tom DeLonge, who had left. Apparently, he's very difficult to work with. And Mark Hoppus, the other main lead singer guy, he had cancer, and his cancer brought the two of them back together. Obviously when cancer strikes, you forget all of the little squabbles and all that kind of good stuff. And so they got back together. Unfortunately, they kicked the guy out who replaced Tom DeLonge. But I think he'll be fine. He had a side band anyway. So Blink-182 is back. They announced a huge world tour, and they have a new single coming out tomorrow, and it's called Edging, which is fantastic. Did you hear that? So Blink-182 is back.
What? I do like them.
So they have a new song. They have a world tour that they've announced, and they have a new song called Edging, which is fantastic. If you know anything about Blink-182, they always put jokes in their things.
Ooh, I'm going to have to listen. Is that on? I'm going to have to see if I can YouTube that.
The song comes out tomorrow. So
Edging.
Yeah, so they have, so you know how they have an album called Take Your Pants Off and Jacket and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So are you familiar with what edging is?
Yes.
Okay, good. If you're not, folks, look it up. So anyway,
Yeah, we don't want to explain it. It's not.
No,
it's not safe for
it's
podcasting.
just, it's typical Blink 182, and so I think it's great. It's a good sign that they're back. Another thing, there's so many new albums coming out. I mentioned Blue October. There's a new album from Skid Row coming out.
Skid Row,
and I'm excited
but they don't
about
have
it.
the real singer, right?
No, so it's not Sebastian Bach. It's the new guy, and they've had I think 2 or 3 different lead singers since Sebastian.
But you said this
left.
guy's good.
The other ones were, in my opinion, kind of weak sauce and very stupid looking and everything.
You said this guy.
This dude's the real deal. The guy that's their new singer now, I want to say he's like from like Finland or something like that.
Finland. And
how they found him was he was they were in Finland touring, and he was in an opening band. They heard him warming up, and he
played a Skid Row song.
They were like, oh, well, I know he didn't do a Skid Row song, but they were like, oh my God, this dude is the guy. And so they basically said, hey, do you want to be in Skid Row? And he's like, you're like my favorite band. Why wouldn't I? And you put like a new Skid Row, like you can YouTube it. See the guy, like don't even look at the guy. Close your eyes and you're hearing Sebastian Bach, but in the best light. Like Sebastian Bach doesn't sound like Sebastian Bach anymore. This dude sounds identical.
The early Sebastian Bach.
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
So it's if you're looking for like new music from Skid Row, because you're never going to get Sebastian Bach. It's just never going to happen. The band, they just hate each other and will not do it again. You're going to enjoy it. This guy is the real deal. So I would even definitely go see him live, because this guy's awesome.
What kind of venue would they play? Like
they're going to play a small club. No, small club. They were actually just here, and it was little more than like the Tally Ho, more like the 930 Club type of thing.
Okay.
Maybe a 3,000 seater, basically.
Okay.
Is what you're looking at. They're definitely not playing arenas or anything like that.
So they're not playing the Wegmans parking lot on Friday night.
No.
Okay.
If Sebastian was back in the band, they'd be playing probably arenas, but it's never going to happen. Right. They've been offered so much money to do it, but it won't happen.
Okay.
So take what you can get. This guy's actually pretty solid. There's also a new album by Alter Bridge.
Who in the hell is Alter Bridge?
Alter Bridge is actually, it's a super group, as they say.
A super group?
You're going to goof, but
I am going to
It's basically all the members of Creed without Scott Stapp, but with Miles Kennedy as the lead singer.
Okay, Creed is awful.
Did you need to go make another drink?
No, not yet.
Okay. Well, anyway, Alter Bridge, if you're into like the heavier rock or whatever, like, rock radio stuff, Alter Bridge is actually pretty big. It was more of a side project, but it actually became a full-fledged real band. They've been putting out albums and they're pretty successful. So
and they tour?
Oh,
and
yeah.
People buy tickets
absolutely.
to see them?
Yeah. And Miles Kennedy is also the touring singer for Slash. So when Slash does his solo tours, Miles Kennedy's the guy. And he's also an amazing guitar player too, to boot. So to boot. So Alter Bridge, if you're a big fan of them, I have a feeling Smorgy probably is. So he'll be happy that I mentioned it.
Smorgy will definitely like them.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers have a new album out, which they just put out an album like 4 or 5 months ago, and now
they have another new one.
It's a double album. So
a double album after producing a single album about 6 months ago.
Yeah, and
man, they've been busy.
They've been busy of putting out a bunch of just marginal songs at best. Maybe they could like go on hiatus for
I've never really been a big fan of.
I love them.
The RHCP.
I love them in the early days, like Uplift Mofo Party Plan, Mother's Milk. For me, Mother's Milk was their best album.
Mother's Milk is a really good album. I think I actually bought that one.
I think most people would say Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
That's a great one.
I enjoyed it, but for me, that was like that was when they jumped, when like everything else sucked after that, in my opinion. It's just, I'm not a fan.
But I've never been here. Like, I never wanted to see them in concert. I never really. They were never in my like avid music rotation.
I did see them, and I'm not going to lie, it was the worst show. And I've been to 50 million shows.
Yeah,
It was literally one of the worst shows I've ever been to.
and you can judge.
And it was just because they just mailed it in. You could tell they didn't care, didn't want to be there. And Silverchair, who opened up for him, actually blew him off the stage, in my opinion. And Silverchair, come on, Silverchair.
I can't tell you a Silverchair song.
You like Silverchair? You know that song "Tomorrow" came out. It was big in the '90s. Okay, whatever.
Probably
you would know it if you heard it.
I would know it if I heard it.
Okay, then
but it's not worth me remembering the band.
Exactly. The last one I was going to mention is Orianthi. Orianthi. It's Orianthi. She is a ridiculous guitar player, very attractive as well. Her only problem, so she's got a new album called Rock Candy.
Well, I have a feeling you mentioned her a few
times.
I
have in the past. She used to be she was linked to Richie Sambora for a long time. They put out an album together. The problem with Orianthi is she doesn't know what her lane is. She's a ridiculous blues guitar player. So she's got a lot of blues roots, but then she also has like a pop sense, and then she has a rock sense. And for some reason, she hasn't quite found the right what's going to push her over the edge. And I'm hoping Rock Candy does it for her, because I want her to succeed.
Rock Candy.
I totally want her to succeed.
You mentioned her before.
I have
this album and this whole
don't
thing.
think I don't have her autograph. She's awesome.
But I have a feeling you've talked about her before. Like, in other words,
not recently, but I have talked about her on the show. Yes. And so the last thing I was going to mention is actually, I'm going to skip one topic because we can get to that at another point in time. But I wanted to bring up somebody who I've been sleeping on for the past couple of weeks because I've been meaning to talk about it. Do you know who Pattie Boyd is?
No one does. No one in the whole entire world does.
This is a little sub fact. Pattie Boyd is like the ultimate muse, in my opinion.
Why is she the ultimate muse?
Because she is solely responsible for 3 of like the best songs ever. So
expand.
Pattie Boyd was dating George Harrison.
Okay.
When she was dating George Harrison of the Beatles, he wrote something in the way she moved. Like
that's
that
a
one.
Great song.
So he writes that. He marries her. So then he's good friends with Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton sees her and is like, "Oh my God, she's amazing." And he writes Layla for her. So she's now got something, and then she's got Layla. So does
Clapton hook up with her too?
Yes. So
even though they're in
Harrison gets divorced from her. Clapton starts hooking up with her, and he ends up marrying her. And then he writes Wonderful Tonight about her.
Wow.
So Pattie Boyd is responsible for 3 like amazing
songs,
classic songs. And you got to give her credit. Like,
wow.
This lady.
So she was with Harrison first, and then Eric Clapton.
Yep. And the worst is they were still friends afterwards. Like, how chill is Harrison, where he's like, "Oh, I already hooked up with her. You can have her. It's all good." And then he's writing hit songs too. And it's like, what has this lady got?
I think Wonderful Tonight is better than the other one.
Wonderful Tonight is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Absolutely.
So, but like Layla, come on, that's
Layla's awesome.
Arguably Clapton's biggest song.
Yeah.
And then you got Something in the Way She Moves is fantastic. Like,
and all are about her.
All about Pattie Boyd. So
interesting.
Kudos, little sub fact for Pattie
Maybe
Boyd.
we should write one, and then she'll have 4 songs about her.
I would like to hang out with her. What if my creative juices started flowing? You know what I mean? Like,
we can easily write a song about her.
Like,
I could write a song, no problem.
You know how like Curb Your Enthusiasm had that episode with the magic vagina? I'm wondering, does like Pattie Boyd have the
absolutely
what is she doing that? Because like she's attractive, but
she is pretty attractive.
She's attractive, but is she like, I'm gonna write some of the greatest music ever?
Well, maybe she's like a loving person. Maybe she's amazing in the El Beto.
Yeah. Which, by the way, we should do a top 5 of like songs about chicks.
Okay.
Because like Jesse's Girl, right?
Awesome. Too.
Or like Meet Virginia from Train.
I don't like that one.
that was about the guitar player's girlfriend. So a lot of these,
Wow.
which is funny, a lot of these songs are not about the person dating the actual person who wrote the song. It's about
Right. Yeah. Like
somebody
Jesse's
else.
Girl, same thing. Like you were saying.
Yeah, like somebody else in the band. So it is fascinating. Like we should do top 5
I'm in on that.
songs about like My
But
Sharona.
we should write a 4th song about Pattie Boyd.
Yeah.
But we got to get someone to sing it. I'm a terrible singer.
Yeah. Oh, and Rosanna. You know Rosanna.
Rosanna.
Yeah, that's about Rosanna Arquette.
Amanda, Rosanna.
Yeah. So anyway,
Brandy.
she's a fine one.
Beth.
Yeah, Beth, solid. So yeah, top 5 songs about girls. I think it'd be great.
Yoko Ono.
No. Okay. With that being said,
There's got to be a lot of songs about Yoko. Didn't John Lennon write a few about her? Or
oh yeah.
Bare Naked Ladies wrote one,
which is one of the reasons why I downright hate John Lennon. I really do. I hate him so bad because no one else, everybody keeps saying, oh, John Lennon's the greatest human ever, all this stuff. No, he was an a-hole father to Julian Lennon.
Yeah.
Because Sean Lennon, he writes Beautiful Boy, he writes all this stuff. Guess what Julian gets? Nothing. Paul McCartney actually wrote Hey Jude about Julian to try to make him feel better. You know what I mean? Like when the other person in your band is going, you're an a-hole father, I'm actually going to write a song about your son that you neglect. F John Lennon.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. And,
Hey Jude is about Julian Lennon?
Yeah. And so when John Lennon died, he left like nothing to Julian and Cynthia Lennon. They were divorced. He leaves everything to Yoko, and of course Yoko, because she has Sean as their kid, like this kid gets everything. Meanwhile, Julian's like, hey, could I get a picture? Could I get something of my dad's? Because she controls everything. So yeah, Julian got the short end of the stick.
And if I was Julian, I wouldn't want anything from my dad if he was that of a jerk to me.
He had to go to public school while his dad was John Lennon of the Beatles touring around. So this is why I hate John Lennon again. So poor Julian's in public school, like regular. He doesn't have the new Nikes. He doesn't have the new clothes, all that stuff. And they're like, your dad's John Lennon. Your dad's a Beatle, and he's constantly on tour, so he never gets to see him. He's never for his birthdays, not holidays, all that stuff. So then he meets Yoko. He has Sean Lennon, and guess what? He decides, I'm not going to tour again because I want to be a good father to my kid.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, Julian's like, hey, what the hell?
Me?
What the hell? What the hell, dude? So I feel bad every time I think of Julian. And the worst thing, Julian looks like John. And remember, he had that song that came out in the 80s and everybody compared it to John. They were like, oh, he just sounds like his dad. The poor guy can't catch a break. So F John Lennon. I know people out there are going to be like, you know what you're talking about? Yeah, look it up. F John Lennon.
F John Lennon. Nice.
Worst father ever. So, anyway, with that being said, did we already do the...
No, but we are... Wow.
We're good.
We're good?
We're good.
We still got to do the top...
We are. We're going to get to it.
Wow.
Mine will be quick. We'll be quick.
All right. The first email is from Fee. Fee actually wrote in.
That would be Mrs. Mooney.
She did and she said she didn't
even listen to the show.
I can't even read this.
I thought she wrote in as P Win.
Yeah, it says, was it? Well, I don't know. I can't. This is really hard to read.
She's writing in Vietnamese. How is this?
I thought she wanted to go by like a cool handle.
Her letter was literally in Vietnamese. He's got to read
P Win
down.
It says, and P Win top 5 tailgating foods are Bom Wee Wai, which is a which is a Vietnamese, which is a
awesome, by
Vietnamese
the way.
spicy soup. Then she's got Vietnamese style chicken wings. Then she's got steamed crabs, banh mi, and bacon cheeseburgers. So other than bacon cheeseburgers,
a dragon boat race or something.
What kind of
where is she getting
tailgating
soup?
is this? Like, I don't...
Yeah, is there a rickshaw thing going on?
I don't know. You can cook soup at a tailgate. I don't know.
When?
Well,
Like I was just at the Skins game. I don't recall anybody going, "Hey, I've got some bomb away." Or
Hey, you
soup.
never know. Did you stop by at a Vietnamese person's tailgate?
I didn't see one,
Well,
but I'm just
thank you, Mrs.
Like-
Mooney, for the email.
yeah, like the squid on a stick really goes over well, you know.
Hey, I do like squid.
So our second email is from T, who we've had on the show before.
T.
She was a very,
Wow, we
very
have a-
great guest that we should have on again sometime.
What the hell?
What the hell?
That's T.
Her subject is tailgate foods, and she's got, again, there's a theme here: egg rolls,
Nice.
fried chicken
I
wings,
can get behind egg rolls.
Chicken wings are awesome.
cheese
chicken wings.
sticks.
Outstanding.
I like cheese sticks, but where are you going to get cheese sticks at a tailgating? You get
You
a
can-
grill. You're not going to get a cheese.
You can absolutely put frozen cheese sticks on a grill. Just
Yeah, I don't know. Fried dumplings
Okay.
awesome.
and grilled beef chicken on skewers.
There you go.
Can't argue that. Like I'm telling you, there's a dragon boat race
you can,
somewhere.
by the way,
but
you can
there-
definitely put dumplings on a grill.
I've never done it or seen it done.
You
but
absolutely. How do you think you make fried dumplings are made?
I guess you put them in a pan or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying. And by the way, there's plenty of pans at a tailgate. Plenty.
No,
You
I get
the
I get the
blacktop
the
or
pan.
the barbecue. You take the whatever you call it, the iron skillet out.
I don't get I get the pan, but like I've never been tailgating and been like, man, you can smell the soy sauce in the air. You know,
So
I've
thank
never-
you for the email, T. That was a great email.
I'm sorry.
Maybe go down Vietnamese lane. I don't know.
I've never seen that. Maybe the commanders just don't get the Vietnamese clientele.
All right. The third email of the week is from Rob from Leesburg. And
Boom.
Rob from Leesburg's subject is top 5 tailgating foods.
I hope he comes up with normal foods.
He says, boys, top 5 tailgate foods. The first is hot dogs.
Awesome.
Agreed. I can't argue.
Second is
Wild heart.
hamburgers.
Done. Cheeseburgers. He means.
Third is sausage on a
He
bun.
actually knows. He actually
I
means
know. He said it on the show, and
Awful.
I'm still trying to avoid that.
God.
His third is sausage on a bun.
Awesome.
Can't argue.
His fourth is cold KFC chicken.
What is it?
Cold
Urologist.
KFC chicken. Is his
Awesome.
fourth, which is
100%.
great. And he says he thinks Matt's going to make fun of him, but who would ever
I'm
make
not.
fun of somebody that likes cold chicken? Cold fried
Oh,
chicken.
if he listens,
Cold KFC chicken is actually better than cold Popeyes
I know
chicken.
he's been listening since day one. We've had shows on this where I've been championing cold chicken. We
Yeah.
both do. So
Cold KFC original recipe.
cold chicken is better than hot
unbelievable.
chicken, in my opinion.
I've bought KFC chicken, brought it home, put it in the fridge, only to
Yes.
eat it the next day because it's better.
I have 100% done that with Popeyes as well.
I would have to get more because once I smell it, I want to eat it as soon as I get home.
No, I'm totally Team Brian on this one. I've totally done that.
And
where
you didn't
it's-
eat it when you got home. You
no,
waited.
No, because I like it cold.
Wow.
Chips is his last to round it out. Chips.
Chips are amazing.
Yep.
So he follows up with a quick story. He says, we used to be able to tailgate at a Jimmy Buffett concerts, and one time at the Nissan Pavilion or whatever it's called now, I think it's Jiffy Lube Live or something. We had the charcoal grill all fired up and ready to put meat on when the security came over and told us that we had to put it out. It was a total bummer, and then we had nothing but raw meat and nothing else to eat except chips, which is why you always need to bring chips and beer.
Can't argue.
I mean,
The
can,
security's stupid.
I'm fine with chips and beer as is. I can make a meal out of that. I'm good.
I would have been like, "Hey, look, security, come back in 5 and you'll have a burger." You know,
Yeah.
you can get them to look the other way.
When they started kiboshing grills, and then next year it was beer. I was like, you're really gonna wreck this experience.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
So,
Because going early and going to a Buffett show was awesome. It was an event in itself.
sure.
Thank you, Rob. Great
And thank
email.
you, thank
See you,
you
buddy.
for having normal food.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you. And Brian didn't have to read it up and down.
All right. Are we ready to do our list?
Sure.
How do
Absolutely.
Do we want to do like we've been doing, where we each do our 5, then we each do our 4,
we?
and
Yeah,
then
let's
work our
do
way?
that.
Okay, Mooney, you want to go first since it's your topic?
I do not. You can go.
Okay, my number 5. this could be specific to the Commanders. I don't know about the other sporting things, but there's always kids selling Krispy Kreme donuts. Like they give, kids have like a dozen of them or whatever. And it's happened a couple of years ago. It was after the game. Kid was selling these things. We had the grill going, and of course, somebody was like, "Have you had hot grilled Krispy Kremes?" And I'm like, "No, do tell."
I have, yeah.
And so we just stuck the whole dozen on the grill, heated them up, got the grill marks and everything. Fantastic.
Did you put like a hot dog or a burger on them?
No, you didn't need to. You could have put a burger in between or whatever, but in this case, it was just the hot grilled Krispy Kremes. Fantastic.
I'm not the biggest fan of.
No, but it's like when you do get them fresh and hot from
I don't
Krispy
like Krispy
Kreme.
Kremes. You know that.
I understand that, but
And
I
you
love hot Krispy Kremes. They're so
on my
good.
list.
You would enjoy them if they had grill marks and they were hot.
I'm sure I would, but I mean, glazed donuts in itself, like maybe a 4 or 5 seed on the donut tray on the donut thing.
I'll eat any donut anytime.
So who's going next? Is it me or Mooney?
All right, I will go. I'm gonna go with Popeye's chicken fingers. I like going to Popeye. I mean, if you go early enough, or not too early, but you can get a Popeyes that opens at like 10 a.m. Stop by there. You get like 2 or 3 like boxes of 10 Popeyes chicken fingers. Bring them to a game. Awesome. I love Popeyes chicken fingers.
Can't argue.
My number 5 is chips and pretzels. Chips and pretzels.
Amazing. That's
Are you talking
probably my
generic?
number
Are
one.
we talking generic Lay's or?
Like I would bring Doritos, and
Because like I'll be
just
honest with you.
any kind of chips.
Because I guess my
Potato
point
chips.
is, it goes back to me. My number 4 is specifically Doritos. I think Doritos are a
You would
must.
go Doritos over regular potato
I'm
chips.
putting
Yes.
like all that kind of chips into like chips or pretzels, that category. Like you need multiple kinds. You don't just bring one bag of chips, right?
I don't know what it is
Yeah, you
for
need
me,
multiple
but
kinds, I
every
agree.
time I've tailgated, I feel like I'm the one that brings the Doritos, and I think Doritos just have a special place. I do like regular chips too. I'm not going to argue that, but I'll have regular chips on the side of my burger and or dog. But Doritos, I'm munching on as everything else is being prepared.
See,
So,
I'm the opposite.
Okay.
Well, I'll get to it. I have a
Yeah. Well, my
specific-
number 4 is Doritos
All right.
specifically.
My number 4, cheeseburger sliders.
I'm never going to argue with that.
My number 4
love
is cheeseburgers. So I'm right there with you, Mooney.
Oh, boom.
Boom!
Solid.
Look at that.
Yeah. Way to go.
And if you want to add bacon, I'm not gonna lie. I would.
No
eat it.
one will
Nobody
argue.
will ever argue with adding bacon to cheeseburgers.
And if they did, you don't ever need to know
I
them.
wouldn't go to their tailgate.
They should be
wouldn't.
punched in the
Yeah.
face immediately. Okay, my number 3 is Rob will appreciate this: cold fried chicken.
Absolutely.
And I honestly, and this is where we may disagree, I like cold Popeyes better than cold KFC.
no,
I do.
do like cold Popeyes. Don't get me wrong.
Cold Popeyes, there's something about the crust consistency that or the texture or whatever. When it's 3 a.m. or whatever, I don't care what it is, I'm eating it.
See, I'm the exact opposite. That's why I like KFC, because there's a sort of their cold kind of blends into the whole piece of chicken, whereas Popeyes, it's still that crust rips off and it.
I love every bit of it. It's like I said, KFC. I'm never gonna argue, but
I like them both.
cold Popeyes.
KFC
for
has
me.
a slight edge. That's
Okay,
about
fair enough.
it. Number 3, pizza egg rolls.
Boom.
Love
Nice.
pizza egg roll.
But-
But
you don't see them often at a tailgate. You get.
They're hard to make at a tailgate. You would have to make them before you go, and you'd have to eat them lukewarm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and
You're
or
not going to
cold.
get them hot.
But I can eat pizza egg rolls cold. Like I had a Philadelphia cheesesteak egg roll cold this morning.
I would easily eat that cold. I've done it many
And that's what I'm
times.
saying. So like I would love a pizza egg roll cold.
I'd eat it.
It's just like eating cold pizza, but you're eating
Yeah.
a cold pizza egg
You don't
roll.
have to argue with me, sir, when it comes to cold pizza.
My number 3 are brownies.
Ooh, I stayed away from
I
I
didn't
stayed
have
away
any
from desserts.
Yeah, I don't have any
But I'm
desserts
happy
either.
Brian included one. Because I
Yeah.
would go chocolate chip cookies, but brownies are amazing.
Yeah, I would eat brownies any day of the week, anytime.
See, that's a good one. I mean, I think we can create a really good one among all
Okay, there you go.
our list.
My number 2 is your number 4. I think is your number 4. Cheeseburgers. I think cheeseburgers are the
Nice. Cheeseburger is a big hit.
cheeseburgers. I assume would be the number 1 seed, but for me they're number 2 because I have a better number 1 in my opinion.
All right. Pigs in a blanket are my number 2.
I love pigs in a blanket. Not gonna argue.
And I would hopefully, if someone made him with like bratwurst, that would be even better. I know you don't like
Not a big
bratwurst,
fan, but like a
but if they cut up
kielbasa or
like mini
something,
bratwurst or mini kielbasas and put that in like a little,
yeah,
what do you call the pastry thing and cooked it up? Oh my God.
I'd eat it. Not gonna argue.
I love.
But see, pigs in a blanket. Once again, you have to cook them ahead of time.
Yeah, but you can
and
heat
know
them
that
up
you're
there
eating them
easily. Hook
lukewarm.
them on the grill. You put tin foil on a grill. You just put them on there, close it, and it's gonna heat it bottom and top. You're
There
good.
you go. Boom.
My number 2 is a bowl of chili served with shredded cheddar cheese and sour cream on top. I love chili. Chili's
I'm in the
great-
minority. I'm in the minority because I hate chili.
As long as you didn't have beans, I'm 100% in.
No, but I think he's right. I think chili is probably a huge one for
It is.
everybody tailgating. I just don't particularly like it. It's like bratwurst. I know I'm on my own island of not liking bratwurst, but
I hate beans and chili though. That's my problem.
beans suck. The bean in general, there's never a bean that I've ever eaten and liked.
If it was a beanless chili, I'm with you.
Yeah, if it's straight meat chili, I'm fine with it a little bit, but I still don't like it. But beans just
As
suck.
long as you can get some like raw onions, put them on top, and then maybe some cheese, bazang.
I'm not doing raw onions either. It would just be cheese and meat, but yeah.
Then you have a hot dog, put it over the hot dog, boom.
Yeah, I would do
That's
that.
good too.
Okay, is it me? Number 1?
Yeah, number 1.
My number 1, so I'm used to when I tailgate, we go early in the morning. And so I don't know why, but we've done this so many times, but it's your own Egg McMuffin for lack of better terms. It's not the McDonald's one, but you make them, you get the little skillet, you get some eggs, and you get the ham or the bacon.
Ooh,
And then you
that's a
get
great idea.
and we make Egg McMuffins, and you're there. I'll eat an Egg McMuffin any time of the day.
Who won't?
But like a good Egg McMuffin on a cold, crisp morning when you're out tailgating, awesome.
So how do you heat up the muffin part? You put that on the grill.
You just stick it
too?
on the grill too. So
right.
it's basically a makeshift Egg McMuffin, but you can get bacon too.
How do you cook the eggs? You get already cooked eggs? Like
No, you get a skillet, and then you actually
make an egg.
Quick and easy.
So you put an egg sausage?
You can get sausage patties or any form of meat, and you get bacon. We've done it with bacon. I get the Canadian bacon slices.
Oh, nice.
And literally just make an Egg McMuffin. You get the cheese, you get everything. So, I'll eat a good couple of those. Awesome.
Couple.
Why not? We're tailgating. We're having fun. You're watching the pregame show. Like if you do it right, you get a good tent, you get a TV going.
Yeah.
Watch the pregame stuff, all while munching on an Egg McMuffin.
Nice.
Solid.
My number 1 is either Ruffles or Lay's plain potato chips.
Wow.
Because here's the thing. I'm going to eat the most of those. Like that. If someone said, what do you have to bring? At the tailgate, you have to have plain potato chips, in my opinion. That is a must.
If it's the most of, I'd be eating a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts and a few Egg McMuffins. So
right. You know what I'm saying? I like finger stuff. That's why I was saying like chicken fingers or whatever. And sliders.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like committing to a whole hot dog or a whole bratwurst or a whole burger. I would obviously, but I like eating a lot of little things and just keep. Because if I eat a whole one, I'm like, man, I could go for another one. But now I can eat a whole nother burger. Now for you, that's no problem.
Yeah, no problem.
But for me, I'm like, I don't know if I could eat a whole nother burger.
Fair enough. Brian,
Cheeseburger, I should say. I hate the fact that we have to clarify. You shouldn't have
it's
to clarify.
It's your brother's fault. I know
it's my brother's fault.
I know it's his birthday, but I'm very irritated at him because of this fact.
It's stupid. You should never have to clarify. For the record, if anyone says burger to me and they serve me a plain burger without cheese, I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to be the guy on a bar stool. That's who I'm going to be.
For his birthday, I'm going to get him like a pound of cheese. I'm going to be like, just suck it up, deal with it, learn to realize that cheese is amazing. Okay, Brian, what's your...
My number 1, and Matt, I know you're not a fan, but if you have this at your tailgate, It's the best thing ever because it is the best thing. It's bratwurst, but you got to boil it in beer first with onions, and
course you
then
do.
you grill it, and then you serve it in a bun, a toasted bun with the onions from the beer, and you put brown mustard on top. Mooney, I know you don't like brown mustard. You can skip the brown mustard, but
I lost me at the
you gotta
mustard,
have
but
it.
I got
Like
you had me up and over.
yellow gold
Yeah.
mustard, solid, but brown
Nope,
mustard.
spicy brown
blows.
mustard, best.
Yeah, I mean, if you like boil some like beer and onions, and then you drop the brat in there, it goes.
Yep, so good. That's
Mhm.
the best.
I can't, like I said, I'm not going to argue because I know the majority of our listeners are like salivating hearing that. So it's not for me, but I'm not going to argue
It's
that.
texture.
Yeah, there's the texture thing.
Well, but
Bratwurst
again, that's
creeps me out. I feel like I almost like the first one I ever bit into. I feel like I bit into like a vein.
Right? Yeah, that's what's the best part. All the juices start popping out into
But
your
it's
mouth
like
hole.
white as it is. It's just kind of like a schmeckle, and then you bite into a
White?
vein.
Are you
And
talking
you're,
about not?
you gotta grill them so they get nice and crispy. The skin gets crispy and they split a little bit, and
just
it's
saying,
so
it's
good.
still there's a vein you're
So do you
biting
like
into.
Saleen's hot dogs? You probably don't.
No, I like it. Don't give me like I do like the ones where they've got a snap to them. I don't mind that, but there's no veins that I'm biting
There's no
into.
veins in bratwurst. I don't know what veins you're talking about.
I don't know if it's just
Veins?
Maybe it was
I
the
don't know if
brand
it-
you had or something, or somebody bought some
Yeah, I
weird
don't
like
know if it was
knockoff
the-
bratwurst.
Yeah, he probably had.
No, because I
knockwurst.
think it's whatever the powder mixture in it. The one that I got
powder mixture.
Well, it's sausage, right? You're taking
What
it.
did you?
You're taking a
What'd you
meat.
buy? Instant bratwurst from Starbucks?
No,
Matt, I think
like,
you need
know,
to give real bratwurst a try.
Okay, so bratwurst is like a sausage that's pre-made in a casing, and you put the casing in
Yeah.
to create sauce. So whatever that pre-made was, whatever kind of like paprika, whatever's in it,
Paprika?
I don't know what makes sausage, but whatever
Fennel?
whatever powder, whatever it was,
But that's the thing.
I bit into it and it tastes like a vein, and I'm like, oh, no, not doing it. So. And
You
even
never-
in Germany, I did try to have another bratwurst because I'm like, okay, I'm back in.
You were in
Yeah, I'm
bratwurst
like, I'm back
capital.
into the motherland. Let me try it. I ate it. It just wasn't for me. And I didn't bite into a vein that time, but it just wasn't for me. I will say one of the funniest tailgating stories, and then we can end it after that. So we had a work function, and we were all going to a sporting well, just say Redskins game at the time. And me and this one guy who we know, we're going to go together and, drive in. We were going to tailgate early. We brought a football, pass the ball. I brought Doritos. He brought some like other chips, and that was going to be our thing. We had another person that worked for us that, let's just say, played for the other team.
Right.
And he comes up to me and he was like, hey, would you mind giving me a ride to the game? And I'm like, sure, no problem. We're going to be tailgating, all this kind of stuff. We go there, we get all set up, get the football out, and I'm like, hey, we have some food, we have some chips. I think we had some like dogs, whatever. My man busted out pate.
What?
And like a veggie, like a little bit of a veggie tray.
Veggie tray?
And we just looked and laughed at him. We were just like,
Pate?
what?
A
Pate?
veggie tray?
He's like, would you like some pate? And I'm like,
no.
You're going to get us killed. I'm like, put that stuff back. You grab some Doritos, my good man.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, you can't like screw up our game like this.
Why do you participate with that?
I didn't have a choice.
To the table?
I didn't have a choice. I was being nice. The person asked me if I could give him a ride. I'm like, sure, no problem. Who am I to say
If
no?
he said, hey, can I bring anything? I would have been like, yeah, but make sure you bring
No,
something.
I said we're going to be tailgating, so you might want to bring some food. We're going to have some chips and stuff.
So he thought food meant pate and
apparently
veggie
so.
tray?
Pate and a veggie tray. And I'm like, what? Who does this? Who are you?
Oh my god!
Never again. Never again. It's just not gonna like. No,
Ouch! I would be severely upset.
it was pretty embarrassing. I was like, dude, you're gonna get us
It's
killed.
embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing. Not for
Well, the worst
you.
is the guy took his like shirt off and had like nipple rings and stuff,
No
and it
one
was
takes
just
their
like,
you don't take your shirt off at a
no,
tailgate.
that's what I'm saying. Me and the other dude were like passing the ball, and we realized this is going down, and then it's like maybe we want to move to like
it had to be a
another aisle
preseason game. I hope. Jesus.
or something. But we almost died. We almost died that night.
I cannot believe someone takes their shirt off at a tailgate.
With nipple rings.
Oh my
and a tramp
God.
stamp.
Oh my God,
With-
even worse.
But he's like, would you like some pate? I'm like, no. When am I ever going to want pate?
never in
Especially
your life.
not tailgating. So,
Oh my God, where's past the queso, right?
yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, I had
Give
Doritos.
me a chocolate chip cookie.
We had Doritos. We did have like chips and French onion dip, and we had
Right.
some like beef jerky even. And
Yeah.
so it was just like pate? No. So no
Fried chicken
pate here,
sandwich or
folks.
something.
Yeah. So with that being said, I think we have
Wow. You know what? I know someone who wouldn't disappoint us like that. And that somebody is Andy at Creative Underground, because all music, all tech support for Subfacts is provided by our friend Andy from Creative Underground. He runs a state-of-the-art production studio in Leesburg, Virginia. You, me, and everybody can find out more by going to his website, but that is not where it ends, folks. He does video live stream events. He does youth sports, corporate events, weddings, and he does concerts too. And he does pro karaoke and audio visual cams for kids. Gotta love this dude. Go to his website, www.creativeunderground.co,
not .com. And he's actually in Minneapolis, Minnesota this week on a big project.
Minnesota's awesome, but it's
Getting a little nippy.
Yeah, it
But,
can get a little dangerous over there.
No, it's a little cold, if anything.
Oh, it's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's a little
But it does get a little
chilly,
dangerous in
chill in
Minnesota.
the air. Yeah. But actually, this is probably like the last couple weeks you want to be in Minnesota, because
it gets
freezing, crazy cold. Like not
right. I don't even want to be like, I hate everyone because I'm outside.
Yeah, like it's not a fun cold. It's an awful, terrible cold.
Yeah, it's like 0 degree cold.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's bone chilling cold. So get in and get out, Andy. So anyway, next up to bat is our boy Ben from KStreetPhotographyDC.com. Basically the best photographer of all time. No real
I wouldn't dispute it.
No real competition there. Ben is an award-winning image builder and FAA certified pilot of drones. K-Street specializes in commercial real estate marketing, business headshots, team imaging, drone cinematography, and imaging. Pretty much, we sleep on all the time. He provides website and social media branding packages. That's something that we never really mentioned.
That's pretty pimp. That means if you're a new company or a company trying to reestablish yourself, or maybe you just, get some, like you said, rebrand your look, and he's the guy to call. He'll do it for you.
Absolutely. And that's Ben at KStreetPhotographyDC.com. Definitely check him out. It's amazing pictures. That's all I can say.
You only have a few warm days left, folks. And the reason I say that is you have to give Big Dog Auto Detailing a call, because you got to get your ceramic on your car, because the weather's coming, rain, snow, sleet, and then afterwards, all that gunk that gets up on your car when you're driving with all the sand. When you just take a hose and go, and then wash your car off, and it looks good again because you have a ceramic wax on it. I'm telling you, do yourself a favor, get that done. It's going to be a little tough to get your car washed, but he'll do it, and he'll make your car look good. So if you have a few nice days in the winter or this autumn coming up, make sure you give him a buzz. He's got a wait list. Call him as soon as you can. 571-233-8716. Tell him Subfacts sent you.
Yeah, and check him out on Facebook. He actually just put up pictures of stuff he did this week. And all within like a span of a week, he has like this huge horse trailer. Then like a 57 Chevy, like some old like 50s kind of car, which is all like muscled out type of thing.
Nice.
And then like a new Bronco. Like it's all over the place. If it drives, he can clean it.
Yeah, he can clean it.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all he does.
So Big Dog Auto Detailing, and he'll be going to Emmett Swimming with me at the 9:30 Club in January 7th.
Oh, of course he will.
Yes. And he'll hear the song that's written about him. We'll have to bring that up.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. So enough about all these other folks. Let's talk about us. If you are listening to the show and you want to learn more about us, check out subfactspodcast.com. That's our website it's got pictures. It's got our merch.
Yes,
which,
it does.
You know, Christmas
a
is
friend of the
coming.
show?
Folks. Yeah, Christmas is coming.
Buy
So,
gifts for people.
you know, forget the fact that it's Amazon Prime Day. Go to subfactspodcast.com, get our merch, because that's really what people want for Christmas or under their stocking. If you like, I know my grandmother wants a Subfacts throw pillow.
Yes, she
personally,
does.
So, you know, she might get one under the tree. I know a guy.
I know a guy.
So anyway, check out subfactspodcast.com. Also, if you want to write into the show and be a part of the show, we have a huge Vietnamese following.
Yes, we do. And it's going to get even bigger
from our mailbag. So, you know, hey, check it out at subfactspodcast@gmail.com. Write about anything. You can write about
but it's going to take a hit because you goofed on Vietnamese people and their tailgates.
Jokes. These are just jokes. Just jokes, Ed. It's all just jokes. We're all just having fun, folks. Subfactspodcast@gmail.com. Remember, the homework for next week is top 5 songs about women.
Nice.
I'd say a specific girl. It can't just be like,
oh my God, the Vietnamese contingent. You got to write in again because I know there's going to be songs.
It can't be like girls. Like, it can't be generic. It's got to be one specific person. You know,
we already mentioned some, like Amanda,
like ideally,
Beth.
And ideally, if you can give a little story about it, like, we might learn something too. I think that'd be fun.
You know what? I think we should do that. Like, yeah, if you can do me. By the way, you can go to Song Facts. You can learn little song facts.
Learn a little bit about the song. You know, Gloria. There's so many other things we can do. So
calling Gloria.
So or Gloria Van Morrison. Gloria. Okay. Anyway, subfactspodcast@gmail.com.
Gloria better.
The 80s Gloria. I think I got your number. Or Jenny 8675309.
See, now there's gonna be no songs left.
Oh, there's so many out there. Music was based on some guy trying to hook up. That's pretty much.
No, that's exactly
pretty much every song is about somebody trying to hook up with somebody. So anyway, you can find us on, if you're trying to tell somebody about the show and how great we are, and they go, well, I don't have whatever platform you're listening to them on, you can say, never fret, because they're on every platform: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Apple Podcasts. We're huge on Apple Podcasts. I'd say 95% of our listeners are on Apple Podcasts. You know, WordPress, there's any kind of player that does podcasts, we're pretty much on it. We also have a presence on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I think
everything.
I've said it all.
Yeah, everywhere.
We're
you
everywhere.
Basically go to a platform, type in Subfacts, we're there.
Boom. And so
like and subscribe, and you're good.
Exactly. And obviously check us out on YouTube if you want to see the visuals of this show. So with that being said, we've said it all. Everybody stay safe, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Boom.